What's up, big girl? Northtownsound. How's it going? There's Trevor. I've been playing lots of bass lately, and Trevor was calling out to me as guitars do. Earl, play me, play me. And he's buzzing like a son of a gun. So I gotta set it up here. And okay, so that's the gist of this video. This is horrible lighting in here right now. This is an Epiphone EB3. Just looked it up online. This is a 2005 Korean neck dive special. They should have known better than they already know with the neck dive body style that the extra long neck doesn't help. But no, they got to go. And then they put this on it. This guard. It's almost a 20-centimeter peg head, right? So that's why this is the neck dive special. I mean, when you're playing this thing, you spend more energy and effort holding the neck up than playing it. There's an obvious reason why they went with 34 scale though, because of the fact that you can get the big long scale rumble out of the thing, which you can't do out of an EB3. EB3 is like a little sports car, really fast playing, really quick to go through on things. This here, you get the rumble that a lot of people like to have. And mated with this pickup and this bridge design, which we'll get into, it creates a really interesting sonic situation. A little bit of grunge feeling on the body. I don't know what that is. So just some cleanup and stuff. Gotta get some new strings on it. Here, I'm gonna rant. You see that? 25 bucks. 25 bucks for this $6.25 a string. No lie. Okay, this very long and McQuaid that I bought these from, right? For those of you who don't know, that's a big chain in Canada. They were selling a used EBO, so the single pickup short scale bolt-on one, right? Used, 330 bucks. You Yanks watching this, be happy if you got one of those shit hard centers by you. You know, it's, yeah, okay, apparently they're crappy stores, but at least they're econo. It's getting to be like when I was a kid again. It's getting so people can't afford to be musicians. It's part of what I do with the effects, man. Like, this is 25 bucks. Okay, it's the next day. I pointed out pretty tiny frets on this thing, but that's what markings you're seeing there. That's just filth. There's like no wear. Ew, it's all dirty. But that's all it is. Doesn't need any dressing on it, which is really nice. And again, as always, the endorsement, barkeeper's friend, this stuff rules. Amazing stuff for cleaning stuff. I wish I had known about this decades ago. In case you're wondering, there's always like these coffee lids around on this table. This is what I use them for. It's the simplest and easiest way. I just have something where I can throw the screws and the parts in. I can keep them isolated where necessary. So just a freebie tip. There's a lot of people beaking off on to oil or not to oil on instruments. I'm going to give you my take, my experience for where I live, and that's what it comes down to. So I'm in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Middle of winter, which is 6 months long. Furnace is going to be going for months on end. The house gets really dry. Then spring comes, tends to be a little bit on the dry side, but rains come suddenly, gets very, very humid. Summers go between 27, 30 Celsius, super dry, like desert dry, or just pouring rain. That's hard on any exposed wood. I could go show you my front porch. I got to paint it this spring again. It's hard on wood. So a little bit of protection always helps. I don't know if this is going to get this. Probably not going to focus enough. The grain is opening up in places on this board. and that's just from the dryness. If I run my nail on it, I can feel where the grain's coming up. It's perfectly polished. It's just the grain is opening up. So to protect it, it needs a little bit of oil. Maybe if you live in a place where your humidity is even year-round, you don't need to do this. It doesn't hurt. That's the easiest way to put it. And I use lemon oil because I was always told to use lemon oil. And I've had this tin for freaking ever. It's finally almost... I think I've spilt more of this than I've used it. So just a quick oil on this thing. The other side of that argument is this. Read about people who deal with fine furniture, especially things like teak and rosewood furniture. Hey, look, rosewood. Read what they'll tell you about maintenance. Funny, that looks more in focus. I don't know why that is. Okay, so this is oiled off now. Scott Grove had a video recently where he was like saying you don't need to oil. He was like, well, what do? Would you oil like any exposed wood? And I do. Like I've oiled where the truss rod access is. I've had guitars where the wood has split here just because of dryness, so it doesn't harm things. So, for some reason this afternoon, iTunes Shuffle keeps pulling up Captain Beefheart. It's a really good afternoon. The old days when you were cleaning stuff, basically lighter fluid, and our friend isopropyl. Oh, sorry, wait, there's the English side. Isopropyl's great stuff, I love it. Didn't realize this thing still had cooties from those, so. Hey, okay, here you go. Here's a tip. Want to know how to make budget guitar hangers. So there's D, still got to redo the guard on them. These are the hangers. And there's an empty one here. And all this is a tool hanger I got from Dollarama. You get 2 of them for $1. They're pretty good steel, you got to squeeze them together a bit. And then this is just some tubing. Huge tubing that had to go on here. I think it's like 7/8 diameter or something like that, which keeps them nice and protected, and it will take any pig head you want. And then I just got those mounted up on some 1x6s painted to match the wall. Econo. I don't know, maybe if you're a foo-foo with some fancy foo-foo guitars, you want something better than that, but they work. They're solid. I like them. And while I'm sharing the cheap bastard tricks, so yeah, it's all dusty in here. These like lint cloth things that you buy at dollar stores. These, man, I just love these. You see, you don't need a bunch of fancy stuff to do this sort of thing. You know, you can get away with a lot of very inexpensive stuff. But let's talk about the diabolical 3-point bridge here for a second while I go to clean it. If you've never encountered one of these things before on whatever that's trying to be a Kalamazoo style bass, I have read and heard so many opinions on how to set these things up. This is my take, and it goes like this. So, the idea is it kind of goes in there and it locks in, and you got 3 screws. Some people say that the 3rd screw is for height and to keep these flat. Some people will say that you use these to create a break angle and this for your height. The way that I set this up is these are the height and this is a break angle. It comes back a bit. Just notice something on this. So if you're buying any of those copy unlicensed guitars that are coming out of China, and you want to figure out if they're made at the same factories as the real deal, just realize this thing's actually stamped to say Epiphone on the back. That's something you can look out for. And now Evening Bell comes up. It's a Beefheart afternoon. I love that. That looks cool without the guard. Kind of looks like the old Guild JSBs. Also looks cool with the guard. I still want to get an EB with like the full guard. I think that would look cool. Oh well. Anyways, cleaned up. Let's string her up and begin the nightmare on that thing. Again, if you've never dealt with one of these, this is cupped on the edge. You have to get these bass strings in. I gotta figure out some way of keeping these perfectly even, because I'm always paranoid about those things twisting. And then you feed through and you go for it. It's actually a really simple design, kind of weirdly executed. I will say, I remember the Gibson bridges that I've held that are 3-points like this being a lot heavier than this bridge, but transverse vibration welds, not a bad design, just quirky. Now, there is one thing I hate about these bridges. I discovered this with my Thunderbird, and this one just did it. It's popping up as I was setting it up. So, off goes everything, and I gotta glue that ferrule back down. This is a fluted ferrule going into mahogany, and it's just the tension of those strings on that bridge just yanks it upward. So, I gotta glue that, but that means I can't finish setting this up tonight, so I'll get it glued. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Okay, it's the next day. That's been down for 24 hours. It's in there good. Yeah, bit of a struggle. Got it going about where it's going to sit. Again, that balancing act is always a pain. Where's the bridge? If you can see that. So it's a very, very slight tilt back on it. The problem with this sort of bass, basically the Kalamazoo style set neck basses, is typical of their heritage. The neck on this thing was not set right. This should be at about a 6-7 degree pitch, and it's dead flat. So when you go to set this up, there's the compromise that needs to be made to get this playable. There's kind of two rules when it comes to setting up instruments. There's doing it by the book, which I've never believed in, because you need to do it by the instrument. What the book would say on this would assume that that neck pitch is correct, which it never is. It never is. This has the classic rise here. It's got the hump. In my opinion, all set neck instruments, I can hold this without tilting it over, have that. And it's not something they develop with age, it's inherent in the structural thing. If you ever watch videos of really fine luthiers, especially jazz top builders, or arch top builders, when they're mounting necks, they'll go back and plane it to make sure you don't have that rise in it, as opposed to just slapping the neck on, which is the way these things are built. If somebody were to look at this, they'd go, there's not enough relief in here. The problem is, if I put too much relief in here, it buzzes way too much up here. And I play up here a lot on this bass because it's the SG body shape. You can do it, so you do it. This bass feels really weird slung this high. It's the only way to get in frame. Sorry about the glare, it's a glary day. So last thing I got to do is adjust this bridge pickup so I can get a sound out of it. Because this bridge pickup has never sounded good to me. How do you adjust your pickup height, Big Earl? Well, the answer is simple. You plug it through your regular rig and you start fooling around. That's what it comes down to. These people that are like, well, you know, factory spec. You know, here's a big secret, right, that a lot of people don't know. Unless you're buying, like, a high-end independent winder, like, let's say, Fralin, Lawler, something like that, pickups are still scatterwound, especially on factory instruments like this. They're going to be supposedly this many K output, but you can have two identical ones and the outputs are different. So, you know, the factories just make things easier for the people at the factory, for the factory spec on it. The other thing is, you might not like that sound. So if I put this at the factory spec, it's horrible sounding. So I didn't mic up the amps, just going through the iPod thingy. But so this is the Mudbucker. Mighty sound. I love that sound. I got the bridge cranked way down. Yeah, whatever. So it's the question where I want it in the middle position. And right now the Mudbucker is just overwhelming it. The problem is if I get this pickup too high up, I got everything wide open on this for the volume and tone. If I get this too high up, it gets really honky sounding. That's not bad. If I throw it up just a hair more, exciting watching this, isn't it? That sound I hate. That nasalness. So that's how you adjust your pickup height. You plug it in, use your ears, okay? That's all you need to do. Use your ears. Don't be afraid. Ah, that's better. Nice and low. Punk rock height. You gotta like that. The neck dive model. What do you do? So, like I say, you spend more time holding the neck up than anything else. I'll do a quick demo for you. You know what this sounds like. This is what I call a function instrument. I usually play this with a pick, and I'm much more of a finger player. And usually with tons of gain. In this case here, clean, this is where I ended up on the twin pickup setting. How Entwistle got that sound out of one of these things is beyond me. So, but usually with these, I'm playing with gain and the effects that I sort of use on bass. So, in this case, I'm going to be using the Oral Dream Purely Fuzz simply because a lot of bottom end on that, which is great with Mudbuckers. And I'm running the Hog. Just got to run the Hog, man. And I've got an expression pedal on it, and I've got it on the filter mode. So this is the Purely Fuzz. Ooh, it's kind of noisy in here. I like that. So, with the Hog on the filter, so, I don't know, let's do some borders. Ooh, this place is shaking. So that's what I find this is best for. Just Mudbucker, loads of gain, and if we're going to run any effects, something that makes it kind of synthy, filtery, whatever. So okay, so that's Trevor. Neck dive, neck dive. I forgot to mention this is named after Trevor Holder, who was the bassist in Spiders from Mars. They're all gone now, aren't they? Bowie out of the picture. Oh, that's kind of sad when you think about it. Good band. So anyways, thanks for watching this adventure. Again, check out what I have available on my store, northtownsound.com. Or if it's easier for you, over on reverb.com/shop/northtownsound. Check out some stuff. The Purely Fuzz is on there. Gotta love that fuzz. So anyways, Big Earl, Northtown Sound. Have yourself a happy day, even if it isn't your birthday.